I want to ask you about the other really big free agent signings, the one that we knew were going to happen, Zach LaVine. Oh, that one was kind of up in the air, but Zach LaVine re-signing with the Bulls on a max deal, Devin Booker re-signing with the Suns on a max deal, Karl Anthony Towns re-signing. Which one stood out to you the most? Zion re-signing as well. That was a big deal given his injury history. Which one stood out to you the most?
I think Zion a little bit, honestly, because that was the one where and it's the one where a lot of people have been like, especially people a little outside basketball. Like, wait, Zion's played 86 games over 3 years, and you're giving him 191 million at least. Like,
great job, great
work.
I'm just saying, awesome.
But I think they're making the Joel Embiid bet. They are, when he has played in those 86 games, he has been phenomenal, right? And you're betting that your staff and he can get him healthy, can get him in the shape he needs to be, can get everything you need. And if it comes together, suddenly him with Brandon Ingram, with, that's now CJ McCollum as kind of the leader that they really needed to kind of bring everybody on board and get them on the same page. They didn't have that kind of veteran leader in the locker room. That's a fun team now. That's a really good team. And so they're making a bet on Zion. Maybe it doesn't pan out. Maybe it does. But I think if you're the Pelicans, if you're in that middle of the small market, you have to make that bet. You're not the Lakers or the Heat where you're like, you know what? I'll just go get a free. You can't do that. This is the bet you have to make. And knock on wood for them. Look, I want it to work out for them, Corey, because I like watching Zion Williamson play. Man, I just want to see that guy back on the court.
You have to make that bet because it's not every day you get Zion. Like, and those guys for the smaller markets, the only way you get a Zion is through the draft because it's not going to happen through free agency. So if you get one through the draft, you have to make the bet. Regardless of injury history, you just got to make the bet. It's like a comet. It doesn't come along very often, right? So one thing I think is interesting, plus they've actually been able to get better as a team in Zion's absence, which is neither here nor there. I think that's pretty interesting when it comes to like the commentary on Zion with this team, with or without him. It's kind of like, it's very interesting that they actually got like a lot better with CJ McCollum without him. But with him, we'll see if they take that next step from bad to decent to good to maybe contenders, we'll see. But I think that it was the wisest thing that the Pelicans could do, hands down. Because the thing about this too is I always think about basketball kind of like show business, because it is, and at the end of the day, LeBron on a good team or a bad team will sell tickets. Like, we're still talking about the Lakers, even though they didn't, they weren't good last year because LeBron's there, right? And the fact of the matter is, Zion, those guys, where it doesn't matter if he's on the bench, they're still going to get the TV time, and half the game will be him in a hoodie on the bench. Just like towards the end of the Lakers games, they're still playing on national television, and it was just Anthony Davis and LeBron James wearing hoodies next to each other on the bench. That was half the broadcast. And when you have that kind of star power as a franchise, that your job is to sell tickets and get people excited about your team, you can't pass that up. Like, there's like a handful of guys in the entire NBA who have that power. It's like John Morant, LeBron James, Zion Williamson, Luka Doncic. There's only a few.